Hello, maging against the Rage tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Rage of Mages with me, BlueAnkylo. Just having a good time here. Had a little break, ate some dinner, just chatting with the live tubers and playing some video games. We still haven't spent any money in the trainer, but we did spend a bunch of money, all of our money, on two things. So I bought the lightning spell for our Ankylad because she's got really good air skill, and I thought it'd be fun. It's 20 grand, so that's all of our money. And you can see it's got a range of 9. So now we do have the option to try to start fights from even longer distance than what we used to be able to. So this means, well, we actually need more vision at this point. We can't see that far, but I can just click this from real long distance and start the fight. And it does do pretty good damage. Bit more than fire, but it does cost a bit more mana, and I would say it's hard to know exactly. Some enemies are immune to fire or air, but I think there are generally more things strong against air than fire, maybe, but we'll see. The other big budget item we bought was for Brian, and he's got a new sword. So we bought him the Adamantium Dagger. Basically, we had exactly enough money to sell the old dagger, the mithril one, because you get 2,000 back, and we just upgraded from mithril to adamantium. I did not expect that we would be able to buy the exact same but adamantium tier weapon so quickly. So I know we just bought this, but I'm going to upgrade it right now. This basically guarantees that he still can connect with enemies and deal decent damage for quite a while, I think, honestly. Also, one of the real perks for the daggers are how cheap they are. So there is a cheaper version, but it's kind of bad. It's only plus 29 instead of plus 40 for less damage. Like, this is the discount dagger. But if you can afford... Well, this one's like this is quite expensive, like 60% more expensive for less attack and a little bit more damage. But honestly, I think these ones, the whatever model you're calling these with the cool little hilt, you know, I don't know what this is called really, but this cool little flare. This is like really good value. If you look at other adamantium weapons, they are easily into the 20, 30,000s. This guy, mithril axe, not even adamantium, almost 30 grand. I expect most adamantium weapons are hitting at least 20, and maces are cheap, so into like 30,000 for the heavy ones. I think the cost formula is based on the damage, not the attack rating or attack speed. So I'm not like, you know, banking it all on it, but I have a feeling this is one of the most cost-effective weapons you can get, just following this line of knives or daggers. Sure, you can get higher flat damage, but if you're missing and attacking slowly, then what does it even matter? So that's good, and you know, there are better materials than adamantium somehow, but that'll be good for now. We definitely need to start upgrading some armor on Brian eventually, because we still have a bronze shield, but you know, armor is pretty expensive, so you need, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of armor total. And if you're getting the good stuff at adamantium tier anyway, if you skip mithril, go straight to adamantium, that's going to be like probably at least 25,000 each, give or take. That's 150,000 gold. Like, we are not even close to that kind of money right now. So I figured might as well get the dagger, just keep buying new spell books when we can find them, and armor is just going to have to be after the fact, you know? Yeah, so we didn't have enough money for Fireball. 30 grand. I'm probably going to give that to Furguard. I feel like, first and foremost, he's going to be my Fire Mage, and the girl will be my Air Mage, but obviously they'll want to fill up their spellbooks entirely if they can, as we get more money. And finally, yeah, the Mage equipment is pretty bad, too. The defense on all of our armor is pretty bad. I think that's it. Oh, technically, if we wanted some more money... this necklace we found, I think, in the last level, it's just the +1 spirit, which is okay, but it is worth like 15,000 gold to sell. So it wasn't really enough to make me think of selling it this time around, but it might be worth the gold more than the +1 to spirit. Maybe. Because we'll probably get a better necklace eventually, and that gold could give us a important spell book or something nice and early, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, enough recap. That was 5 minutes. Again, is catching up time. Let's talk to some meat people.
It is a pleasure to see you again in my house. I have good news for you. Your friend was here. Dennath is his name, and a very pleasant man, too.
That's not my archer. That's my, that's my other... That's the melee character I believe you could play as. Brian the Knight is like an extra 5th character, and we're slowly getting our 4 original heroes together. So you could have created Dennath, or Dennath, or whatever they said. But I guess we'll get him now, and he'll be our 2nd melee character.
He was staying here when he said he had some urgent business to attend to, and left. He could not stay any longer for whatever reason. He told me to tell you that he would be waiting for you at the Monastery RTS.
Fancy. RTS. It comes with an accent.
Hello! Everybody I talk to says that you are true warriors. If that's so, we need you to take care of a situation for us. My friends and I were on our way to Plaget and stayed in a small village overnight. That night, Orcs attacked the village. No one expected the attack. There were too many of them.
None expected.
Now they're holding captive our mage, and 2 of my friends are wounded and nearly dead. The people had to desert the village, and the Orcs took it over soon after. I made a promise to the peasants to bring reinforcements in, but my friends need help too. Come to our aid, and we'll support you when you need more good warriors.
So, Spanish Inquisition Orcs. No one could have expected it. Now, I don't think your heroes can ever be a horseman. But if we have Lancers, they move real fast. Not as fast as you might expect. Only like 50% faster than a human. But, yeah, they go fast. I think they're larger sprites, though. Kind of like how the ogres, so they get stuck on stuff. But, kind of lower stats than a melee fighter. The way I remember it is the Lancers are fast and good for taking out mages and archers, but not as good at just holding the line as your nice shield girls or plate armor guys you can just make a nice line out of and barely die. Well, the monk warriors, I mean, I'm trying to prioritize recruiting companions. As much as I'd like to go kill some orcs, I don't think this gets us another companion. So, something about monks at a monastery. Let's go. My friends, I hear the clash of swords and the cry of battle. Maybe someone needs our help. To battle!
You can count on me.
Yes?
You can count on me.
Alright, always save.
You can count
There's
on me.
another streamer I watch that often says save and save often. I don't know if he got it from somewhere else, but it's a good motto. At last, it's great to see you in good health and surrounded by faithful friends. Are we on time? Tell us, what happened? Yes, I've got a story to tell. I was stranded in the northwestern part of the island. The paths were swarming with trolls. I could not advance quickly enough to outrun the trolls due to my wounds and frequent skirmishes. Fortunately, I reached a monastery and the monks took me in, where my wounds were healed and I was able to rest. Now I realize that it was the hand of Providence that guided me here. The order turned out to be a reckless and militant one. Its members have always hated mages. Their conviction is that there should not be any magic at all in the world. Oh dear. And we are mages. With Uimar, when Uimar was separated from the rest of the world by magic, the monks decided it was their duty to destroy the island. They've been plotting the island's destruction for a long time. They're ready to fulfill their plan. The target is the Tower of Rock Uimar, which they want to destroy, but in order to get there, they need a certain bracelet. To seek this bracelet, they sent out a squad of warriors and are now expecting their return. That's all I know. Unfortunately, the monks have become very suspicious of me, and I had to escape. We set up an ambush for these bracelet-seeking maniacs and killed them all, but we could not find the bracelet. We have to enter the monastery and search for it. Right. We need to stop their plans of destroying the island. They have exactly the same armor. It's hard to tell if it's Brian or Dumas. Besides, if the monks need the bracelet in order to enter the rock, you will need it as well. Why do you need the bracelet? Merely to upset the monks' plans. We will need it. He doesn't need it. It's a long story. We'll talk about it when we get to Plagat. Right, because we are now accidentally envoys to the mage. Remember, the merchant near the beginning of the game gave us a nice little brooch as a payment for our service. It turns out that that brooch was actually a very important brooch that signifies you're being an envoy for the great mages. So now people have seen us wearing that brooch and have misunderstood it to mean that we are employed by the great mages, which isn't exactly true. Oh, right. Hold on, let's go help these people.
Yes.
There's some fighting going on up here. I hear people dying. He hired these mercenary crossbowmen, so I figured at the very least we could talk about stuff up here. I did hear somebody die though, so I don't know. But anyway, so we got Brian, and now we have Dennath. I thought it was Dumas. I don't know. Okay, so he's got mithril stuff and a mithril bastard sword with magical plus damage. So he's got some good stats. He's got more defense than Brian. A little bit more damage. Another sword guy, but he could use axes. I have a feeling both of them are going to use swords and oftentimes daggers. But, you know, good.
Ready. You can count on me.
Let's save it up here.
Understood.
Alright, so somebody ran off and got killed by goblins here.
You can count on me.
But now we're getting to a proper sized party. Are you gonna heal this guy ever? They're really lazy mages. So they don't like to heal. It's fine. Now, I'm almost like 100% sure that that's the way forward.
Understood.
So before we go the correct way, let's take a minute and see if there's any sort of treasures or challenges off on the other side. Perhaps a dungeon or a dragon.
Yes. You can count on me.
So we're only missing one of our original
Yes.
4 characters now, the archer girl.
Understood.
It would be nice to have an archer at this point. You know, 2 mages, 2 frontliners. The mages do get stuck spending a lot of time healing on difficult encounters, so having a ranged DPS would probably be quite useful.
Understood.
And then I can let the melee focus on defense even more, while the archer tears stuff up, and the mages keep everybody alive. I don't know if there's a way for a mage to turn off healing. I guess you could give one of them a staff to do auto attacks, and the other one no staff, and they would just constantly do
Yes.
healing. And then you could kind of play it like you had a white mage, a black mage, and you know, a couple fighters and a ranger or something. I don't know if that's a great idea, but you know, only casting cure magic would be kind of boring. Maybe you could have them do all the buffs or something, but I don't know if the buffs are really worth it. They're not bad, but they just have such a low duration. Okay, well, I'm happy that we cleared out this corner of the map, but, you know, not much. I don't intend on using these guys unless we're stuck. They just, you know, they kill steel.
Got it.
But they do have they do a lot of damage. 156 attack, averaging about 30 damage a shot at good range.
Yes.
Can we see exactly? Range 6, at okay range, let's just say. Not amazing, but okay.
Yes. You can count on me.
Yeah, they're just, you know, they're here for the free food, really. But yeah, there will be a monastery somewhere with a big fight. We might need them for the big fight with a monastery, but we'll see. If I can do it alone, we'll do it alone. It's a kind of min-maxing that you certainly don't need to do in these sorts of games, but I have a really hard time giving up experience,
You can count on me.
even if it makes the game easier.
Yes.
If I can do it without using mercenaries, I want the sword experience, I want the spellcasting
You can
experience.
count on me.
You know. I'm greedy. And I think, honestly, this is not a bad game to use mercenaries. Especially mercenaries that,
Yes?
like the meat shield variety that just hold the line. The damage variety are certainly going to
Okay.
take some of your kills, but... Also, you could bring, like, the healer mage.
Understood.
There's one mage that's, like, basically designed to be a healer.
Okay.
Mercenary mage that's designed to be a healer. But, of course, it's not just about the experience. The mercenaries aren't cheap. You know, thousands of gold to bring them along. And, we are in need of a lot of gold, right? I just talked about how much money we need for armor.
Okay.
Well, now we've got 2 fighters. So instead of 150,000 gold for adamantium, it's like 300,000 gold.
Okay.
And that's a long way away. That's a real long way away.
You can count on me. Yes?
But isn't it nice just being able to wander around and kill
Okay.
stuff without really reloading every
You can
5
count
seconds?
on me. Yes?
Party size makes a huge difference. Are you coming? Number 3?
Ready. Okay.
I think his pathfinding got a little confused. Surprise, surprise.
Understood.
The AI got confused.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not just that we've got the cool daggers and slightly better stats and everything. Just simply outnumbering enemies.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes. Yes.
And we could still have one of our mages die very easily. And still have a reload.
Yes.
Real easy. Oh, squirrel.
Yes. You can count on me. You can count on me.
Someone call, was it the
You
Duke?
can count on me.
He's been training his squirrels to come attack us.
Understood.
The streamer's having too easy of a time with it.
Count on me.
Sick the squirrels on him.
Understood.
Why are the bees disappearing from the
You can
world?
count on me.
BlueAnkylo keeps killing them.
Okay. Yes.
Alright.
You can count on
It was me all along. Ooh, green
Yes.
spirit. Is that stronger? Marginally stronger.
Okay.
Nothing to worry about. Alright, this is going real smooth. We're halfway through the map already. I'm happy. It only took like 10 minutes. Okay, bridges. I don't like to go
Yes.
across bridges. It's a Dragon Quest
Yes.
1
Okay.
rule that crossing bridges always leads to more dangerous territory and
Okay.
stronger monsters. So ever since I was a young Ankylo, it's been, you know, banged into my head that going across bridges was dangerous. And then with all the trolls eating you and taking your money when you try to cross them, yep, just don't trust bridges. In real life, BlueAnkylo comes to a bridge and he just goes around. Just like, I'm not going shopping today, that's a bridge. Well, there's no other way around. What do you do? What can you do? There's maybe one way around.
Ready.
So if I remember correctly, Rage of Mages 2 uses basically the same engine with some tweaks. I think there's some new spells. I'm not sure how much of the, you know, pathfinding is improved, but I do kind of remember it being a more difficult game in terms of balance of the dungeons. There's more difficult enemies, but I do kind of remember it being maybe easier to play. like maybe they learn from some of the control interface issues. Maybe there's some better hotkeys or something. I forget, but I do intend on playing it after this if we stick with it. Add it to my list of endless Let's Plays, and then we'll see for sure.
Okay. Okay. You can count on me.
And there are, like, there's a scenario editor for this. So there are people who make their own campaigns.
You can count on me.
And I haven't really looked into it. But it's not going to be popular like a Neverwinter Nights campaign builder. But there are, in theory, you know, if you like this kind of gameplay, there are even more maps and missions
You can count on me.
that might be good. Like, it's, you know, you're still limited to the engine you're in, but I don't know how popular this game got, but hey, man, maybe you're into developing your own scenario for this kind of game. I'm pretty sure you could do it.
Understood.
I know I fiddled around with it a little bit when I was younger, but
Understood.
I didn't really know anybody else that would want to play it. Before the internet was super... Before you could just stream to everybody on the internet like this.
You can count on me.
Yeah.
Understood.
I'd have had to, like,
Count on me.
lend the CD out to install the game to someone
You
else,
can count on me.
along with any of the maps, just to get other people to play it, because
Okay.
I don't know if anybody else ever purchased this game that I knew.
Okay.
Oh, treasure. Totally not a trap. A mithril cuirass. Ooh. Did I ever figure out how to pronounce cuirass or cuirass? I think it's... I know I looked it up at one point. This Orcs bow is excellent. Too good for a lone traveler. It's just a wood longbow. It's not that good. Oh, it's magic. Never mind. It's pretty good. A mithril... I don't think it's cuirass. It is like cuirass. I don't know. French, man. How do you keep track of it? We would drop an absorption, but we would gain 8 defense. Or exactly what we've already got. I don't know. I like the absorption armor better, but that's a lot of defense. For free. Cuirass? Well, maybe. Also, 1 second here. Lyrics. Singing. Illegal. Channel banned. Alright.
Yes.
Alright, so we're expecting some friends.
Okay. Ready.
Some more orcs. The last time we fought the red orcs, they gave us a really rough time, but, well...
Yes.
I got a feeling with 2 melee fighters with daggers and armor, and a couple of mages, even not focused on healing, I think we'll be okay. I kind of like playing as the melee fighters a little bit right now. The first, I don't know, 5 episodes of the series, all we did was micromanage our mages, so letting them just auto-battle for a while seems like a good balance. But there are certainly lots of cool strategies you can try with the mages and their spells, but... Well, you guys saw how effective or not that was. Oftentimes, just auto-healing might actually be the solution.
You can count on me.
Turtle power.
Understood. Yes.
Oh, I forgot to renumber my mages.
Excuse me?
There we go. Gotta make sure everyone's in at least one group so I can grab them quick if I need to.
Ready. You can count on me.
The team was just like, yeah, Brian's got
Count
them.
on me.
We don't need to help him.
Okay.
I think Yalman, Yeoman is how a lot of people say it. But that one's not even French, but it is, I believe, Yalman, or it's got a kind of... It's got an unusual pronunciation if you've never heard it spoken, if you've just always read it. That's usually how, if I'm being honest, that's usually my problem, is I've read it in a book or in a game, but not ever heard someone else say it out loud, or at least not correctly. So that's one rule I have for myself, too. I try to follow it. It's hard, but I would recommend if you're watching along, watching Let's Players mispronounce words, they're probably only mispronouncing them because they've read it rather than heard it. And you're basically making fun of them for not knowing how to pronounce something that they read. And I don't know how you would guess correct phonetic pronunciations, especially in languages you don't already know. And honestly, people who read a lot of books know a lot of words, but they might not know how to pronounce them. Yes. So it's not the best type of people to be picking on, per se. There are some exceptions, of course, where people are being dumb, but you know what I mean. Like, in theory, mispronouncing something because you read it in a book and never actually heard someone speak it at a history lecture, that's not really something that needs to be made fun of, I don't think.
Understood.
And especially, at least, I mean, I can only speak for English.
Ready.
But English has got so many non-English, what would you call it? Blending of other languages into it, like French language and German language, Germanic, French, etc. There's so many words in English that are not, they don't follow the same rules, you know? That you could learn all the English pronunciations by the book, and unless you read the exception book, which is also very, very, very long, you'd still be mispronouncing words. I remember in German class, long time ago, young Ankylad, I'm only in high school. I never got very good at speaking German, but I took it for a couple years. One of the rules that I really thought was cool was that almost everything in German, once you understand the rules of how to pronounce it, you can read it and say it out loud from how you read it almost always right. There's very rarely a weird exception to how you pronounce a word. Lots of words are just combined together. It's just two words added together, a contraction. Not a contraction. Yeah, whatever. Something like that. And you just say the two of them together kind of thing, you know. That was always one thing I thought was cool about German. And I would, whatever. It's a lot of work, but if I was going to learn a second language, I think I would stick with German to start with. It's not very Canadian, you know, usually you'd think Canadians should learn French, but I think I'd have more fun learning that myself anyway. Very efficient mage.
Yes.
You can.
But I had the problem of like, just reminiscing. This game's taking me back to the 90s, back when I actually was in high school, learning these languages. I took quite a lot of French, like most Canadians take in school. It's basically mandatory to take a certain amount of French language during school. And I was even in a, I think grade 7, I was in French immersion for a year, which was really bad. Because at that point, if you've never been exposed to an immersion school, it's like every single class I had was in French, which I didn't really understand, except English. So math was in French, science was in French, social studies was in French. There was a French language arts class as well as an English language arts class. I don't know. I think everything was in French. And it was real rough because, I mean, I was like 12 or something, 12-year-old little Ankylad. And, I mean, you know, I wasn't a dumb kid. I was a pretty smart kid, I thought. Pretty good at school. But science in French, when you don't know French, is rough. That was the year they went through all of the, what are they called? We can kill this guy, it's fine. Yeah, no problem. What was it? I forget the exact module at school, but it was like, a lot of diseases and stuff. Like, we learned about botulism and a lot of, like, the,
Yes.
Okay.
what am I trying to say? Like virusology, you know, like that kind of science. We spent a lot of time on that year. Hey, look, a free haste book. No need to buy 2 of those. And the problem was, you know, for a a preteen, young teenager, those are already pretty difficult words, even in English, to get right your first time when you've got these 4, 5, 6 syllable super diseases that were discovered hundreds of years ago, or however long. I didn't pay much. It was in French. How would I know? And then you add in that they're also described in French in a language you don't know, and it's also not quite the same word because, you know, French. Boy, did I have a rough time with that. I think I had a semester in French, well, science class in French, that I actually failed. It was the first time I'd ever got, like, less than a C or a B or some normal kind of grade, and I was so mad at my parents, really, at that point. But, like, the fact that I was failing a science class, I like science, I was a science kid. Oh, man, that was bad. anyway, that's your BlueAnkylo from 1998 story.
Understood. You can count on me.
Would have been a little earlier than 1998, but not too far off.
Excuse me?
I think if I had stuck with one,
Yes.
it would have been fine. Oh, right. So that, like, the moral of the story I was trying to get to with the whole German stuff is that I took French immersion for 1 year. So I got to the point where I was, well, I wouldn't say fluent by any means, but passably conversable. After a full year of everything being in French, I could generally understand most people talking in French slowly, and, you know, I could reply back in, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 year old actual levels of French. But you could communicate eventually. I could read and write in French a bit, whatever that means. But then my parents moved, and for the next year I was not in French immersion. So forget all that. Now we're back to only English.
You can count on me.
And the only French we learned then was just the normal, not immersion style French, which is like I was already beyond that. So me and some other friends just sort of goofed around in
Excuse me?
grade 8, grade 9 French. French stream, no. I won't even want to try.
You can count on me.
It's been a long time. But, so the problem is, what I was trying to get to, it's complicated.
You can count on me.
I don't know what these bats are doing.
Ready.
These bats are just flying around murdering everything. In grade 10, I think, once I went to high school, you have to pick a second language. Well, have to. You mostly had to. I don't know if you had... I don't think you... Technically, you didn't have to pick a second language to graduate, but most universities required a grade 12 second language, so okay.
Understood.
But I was kind of sick of French at that point, for reasons that you probably understand. By the time the BlueAnkylo got to grade 10, French was illegal. No, not a fan.
Okay.
So I was at a school that had German, which was pretty cool.
Okay.
What? Why are there so many enemies killing each other on this map? I don't understand. Everything's just killing everything. We've got to be getting... I haven't saved in a while. We've got to be getting... There's a little island over here we haven't been to. And everything else is kind of through this mountain pass, which I'm assuming is where the monastery is. I should definitely save it. I've just been kind of chasing after fighting. So, grade 10. I don't know what Jogo means.
Okay.
I used to know. I can, if I'm not streaming and doing 5 things at once, I can parse through some French words, because it's not all gone, but it's very slow. I have to remind myself of the 5 who, what, where, when, whys, the ku, qua, quen, quicks, quackers, whatever they all are.
Yes.
But I can eventually remember most of that eventually. And the trouble is like verb conjugation. Are you guys gonna? What are you?
You can count on me.
Yes.
I don't know why the pathfinding they just stop trying to cast spells. They just stand there and look like idiots. Okay, let's try
Count on me.
charging these guys down. No problem. But no, my French nowadays is not great. The orcs were pretty lazy. I wonder if any of these are magic orc bows. Probably not. The first one we got, the special one on the west, was magic, but not so lucky anymore. But yeah, no, my French is long gone basically, and even if I tried now, I'd have to work real hard. But the story was that I took German in
Understood.
in grade 10 and 11, but
Yes.
I mean, maybe I was just a bad student. You never know. Those are interesting years, right? The high school years. I tried. I feel like I tried, but I kept getting confused because I kind of, at that point, after a couple years away from French immersion, I was much better at French in grade 10 than I am right now. But I still kind of half learned it, so I knew like verb conjugation in French passably and could generally understand and read it. But then we started learning German from scratch, which I didn't know anything of beforehand. And they really kind of blended together in my head. And because I never really learned one or the other, learning German at the same time as sort of knowing French really didn't work. So I wouldn't recommend that either. Pick a language and just learn it. Don't learn half of it and then try to learn a different one. Because at least my brain couldn't handle it. I think I still passed all my German courses, but...
You can count on me.
Okay, this guy looks a little scary, so... kill him.
Okay.
That was maybe a tier 3 goblin, actually.
Okay. You can count on me. Understood.
And then you get into how, like, all of the Romance languages, the French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, that's most of them. Well, you know, all the off-brand Sicilian type stuff. But they all sound a lot like French, although they're definitely not. But they share a lot of root words, so sometimes someone will speak Spanish or Italian or whatever, and I'll understand a little bit.
Understood.
But only a very little bit. But nowadays there's all these cool stuff. It's Portuguese, yeah, see? Yeah. I had a feeling it was something like that once he started writing more. Oh, come on, why would you do that? Come on, hold the line. The mage decided to kill us all. Stupid friggin' mages, man. Just suicides the group.
Okay.
I saw the mercenary, the enemies. I stopped my front line.
Okay.
And my mages just were like, nah, let's go fight.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not going to answer in Portuguese, so... For the most part, as much as we're talking about other languages, it is certainly better to keep the chat in English. Because I'm not going to be able to put stuff into Google Translate midstream.
Okay.
Remember the days when you didn't have Google Translate? If you want to ask a question to BlueAnkylo, you can speak any language into Google Translate and have it translate it to me in English, and I'll probably be able to read it. That's like a little switch there, isn't it? I wonder what that does. Let's make a little save here.
Okay.
This is probably a trap.
You can count on me.
I mean, are you really surprised it's a trap? I mean, honestly, compared to 1998, I think most people would consider Google Translate a universal translator. It's maybe not perfect, but you can literally, like, if you type or paste into it, it works for sure. But even speaking, like the verbal processing is pretty good these days compared to, well, 1990s when it was science fiction. So we already kind of have the technology to read and translate. Maybe not perfect. You know, it's not quite fixed. It's not perfected. But it was definitely science fiction when this game came out. I don't know how to use this thing.
Understood. You can count on me.
Understood.
Oh. Okay, only the main character can interact with switches. Good to know.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think that switch did? Just flicking switches. I see some bones up here.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
You can count on me.
Understood.
Understood.
You can count on me.
Well, I still don't know what that switch did, but
Excuse me?
excuse yourself.
It will be done.
No! Why would you wander out? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe we'll just leave it unswitched for now.
It will be so.
Yes, you can count on me.
It will be done.
Man, these mages are so... Everything in Google Translator sucks? I don't know. Makes more sense than typing in a foreign language to a streamer that doesn't understand it to me.
Understood.
It will be so.
Yes.
Alright, we need to keep these mages safe.
It will be done.
Stop running out and getting yourself killed, mostly.
Understood.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What are you doing? Heal him! I don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
At least one of my mages was just standing there doing nothing.
You can count on me.
Hi there, we're just talking about pronouncing names. Fed from Argentina.
You can count on me.
Take my shot.
You can count on me.
It will be done.
Now, if you guys could not run out front
You
and
can
suicide,
count on me.
I'd be
Understood.
real happy.
Understood.
Fred. Fred works. I like Fred. Nice, simple, one syllable
Ready.
names. Those are the kinds of things streamers can get by. All right, no more auto attacking or manual casting, whatever. Do a little bit of healing. Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right. When the mages don't wander outside of the safety zone, and the melee gets a bit of healing, we're awesome. All right, we can pick up all their loot, but we'll just pick it all up at the end of the map.
Yes.
I should probably save some more, you know.
Yes, you can count on
It will
me.
be done.
It will be so.
No, whatever works for you, Raquel. It's just my advice if you're watching streams.
Count on me.
Even if you understand
Yes.
the spoken language better,
Ready.
streamers probably
You can count on
don't
me.
understand
Ready.
written other languages. So if you want people to answer your questions,
Yes.
better off Google translating. It's close. It's close. We made it. That was real close. Damn, the bracelet's nowhere to be found. I'm starting to have my doubts. Maybe it was a mistake to ransack the monastery after all. I don't think so. Those bigoted monks would just have thought of some other way to destroy Ankylad. Now at least they're not threatening its existence. I think we've done the right thing. Yes, I agree. It needed to be done, and now back to business. We have to get back to town and start thinking about what to do next. In a minute. Alright. We barely survived that. I wonder if the switch would
can
turn
count
off
on
the towers, because I think the towers have an attack. Maybe you could switch the... If you toggle the switch, maybe the towers attack the enemies for you or something.
You can count on me.
It looks like we just kicked butt anyway. We didn't need any help from no switches. Let's check for some treasure. Well, English... I'm sure there's billions of people in the world that have no need to learn English, but yeah, I mean, if you're watching an English streamer, probably helps. Honestly, I have a lot of respect for people who are bilingual or multilingual. It's, you know, I failed my runs of learning multiple languages. That was the story from earlier, was my French and German journeys, so... I know how hard it is to learn, especially multiples, once you're beyond 2 and 3. So, it's pretty cool. And I know a lot of places, a lot of other countries outside of North America, well, Canada, US, it's just sort of standard. You know, you go through school, you learn a couple languages.
Okay.
Whereas up here, it's pretty
Yes.
rare. I'd say, even in Canada, which is known
Ready,
for being
yes.
bilingual, there's not too many people that speak multiple, like English and French, outside of Quebec. And even then, it's just oftentimes still just French or just English. But boy, do they get mad if you only speak English. Yeah, no, I hear you, Duke. That's... I mean,
Understood.
if I hadn't taken my year of immersion, that's probably all I would have got out of it. And even still, I'm not sure. Well, I have to think real hard. I have to concentrate real hard. I've listened to some friends speaking in French, and it's like... I just... I can't keep up anymore. There was a time, but those days are gone.
You can count on me.
So what the heck does this do? My only guess is that the switch may toggle the towers to help you or something, but let's see. I still can't get it right. There you go. I was thinking the switch might open like a path or something in the mountains, but normally it would be like not this kind of terrain. It would be like it would move rocks around or something. The way this engine works, I think. So this is one of those switches I have no idea what it actually does. Assumedly something. But just trying to look around the map, see if anything's changed, but doesn't really look like it. Never used my mercenary archers, so all the XP goes to us. Alright. Well, let's just grab all the stuff we left on the ground and call that a mission, I think. That was a pretty big mission. Not too difficult, all in all. Sure, we died a few times, but for the most part, now that we've got 4 people, not nearly so bad. Oh, right. Pick up all before we leave. Nothing too important. Just equipment from the dead monsters. So I don't think we missed any good loot. Victory. What is the universe? Yeah, 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Been there, done that. Alright, I got 2 more quests. Maybe it's just Brian chatting with us. The mercenary archers, the crossbowmen are new, I think.
Our arrows, like death itself, are fast and know no mercy. We'll serve you well if you choose our company.
So what's the difference between an archer and a crossbow? Archers have a lot higher base attack. At least these archers do. Crossbows are doing a bit more damage. Archers have a range. I think they've got the range advantage, actually. Nope. Range 4, short bow, versus range 6, crossbow. Wow. Okay, the range is real important. So I would say range 4, even though they're a bit more accurate, not as good as range 6. Still pretty good accurate anyway. Good accuracy. Okay. No more armor upgrades for our guys yet. Just keep an eye on them all. Let's see. 48 minutes in. Jeesh. There was still one more quest, didn't we have? Yeah, we got to go kill some orcs too. But let's do some shopping, or at least have a quick look. We'll probably end the episode before the next mission anyway, but you never know when we're going to find some cool gear. So we got this bracelet with protection from fire. Like, you could hold on to this, and if you're fighting enemy mages with fire or dragons with fire, this might help you a tiny bit. But plus 5 fire is just not very much. It's one of the better resistances to have, because there's lots of fire attack spells. Like, protection from water is not very helpful, because there's very few water attacks. Or even earth, there's not very many earth attacks. But, I think we'll just take the money at this point in the game, honestly. And, steel cuirass. Now, we could... Cuirass, whatever we call it. We could just sell the mithril one that we found. But... because this has 2 absorption, this only has the 1, but... that's fine, we'll keep the slightly higher quality. And then we do have this magic bow. If we had an archer, I'd maybe keep it. And yeah, sure, my fighters can technically equip a bow and start shooting, but I'm not going to mess with that. Micromanaging that is too much hassle, I think. Need a better helmet. I don't like this helmet very much. On, Dennath. This thing looks too much like a pot, so we gotta do better than pot hat. It's pot with slits. Alright, let's have a look at the shop, see what they've got for sale. We got a new spell here, the Stone Wall. Now this one I think I like. If I remember correctly, it lasts a fairly long time, and you can use it to block off sections of the map. And then unless the enemies can fly, they're stuck on the other side of the wall, and you can just shoot them down. So I think this is a good one. 50k, I think all of the 50,000 costs are like the tier 3 spells, and they're all protection from whichever element. So, you know, you're going to get your fire, your fireball, your protection from fire, healing, freezing cloud, protection from water, light, lightning, protection from air, earth, stone wall, protection from earth. I don't think there's protection from astral though, so. But those are pretty low priority unless you know you're up against a bunch of fire mages or something. Also, there's wall of fire, so maybe it's fireball, wall of fire, protection from fire. Let me double check. So he's got haste. So he's just missing freezing cloud and lightning. She's got those. I'll probably buy the other guy mage a fire spell next. Maybe I'll give him the earth spell too. I don't know, whatever. She could be water, air. He can be fire, earth. But I'm not sure I'll specialize as much. Yeah, Xenonauts. That was a long series. I definitely don't have the energy for another campaign like that right now. That was fun, but that took a while. Ooh, seriously? We're at the tier of blue weapons now. Meteor is better than so it goes bronze, iron, steel, mithril, adamantium, meteoric. And this might be the top tier. So, in theory, this might be the optimal dagger. If you want a dagger. Ooh, look at a pretty sword. Meteoric short sword. It's so nice. I'm surprised how early there's no way you can afford this stuff, and they're showing it off in the weapon shop. Adamantium's just a little bit too pink for my taste, but okay, we could upgrade to steel tower shield. That's a lot of defense. Oh, it's so expensive though. Geesh, 20 grand just for steel. But that's another, like, plus 13 defense. 14 defense. That's pretty good. Oh, look at this stuff! Meteor looks so nice. Oh, there's the high-quality adamantium plate, Curus. You got your Spartan armor here, and then your heavy plate. We got mithril, we got adamantium. Mage armor, who got time for that? Oh, I don't have enough money. There's so many cool looking things. You know, a mithril dagger with lifesteal. Only 169,000 gold for a meteoric ring with a bunch of stats. This is like Diablo, and they're like, here, you want to buy this, right? It's like 10 times your gold. Ooh. Some fancy boots. I mean, we don't have enough money for... Like, we can't even touch this stuff. I don't know what to spend our money on, guys. Future tubers, let's talk to some people, and I have to think about what to buy off camera, because I don't even know. Let's just talk to Brian.
One cannot fool you. I have been looking for the bracelet since I arrived on the Ankylad. It has been my secret mission. Okay, I shall tell you the truth.
Secret mission? He's a spy!
A long time ago, when the world split into
in a galaxy far, far away,
the rulers and great mages agreed that nobody could enter the tower of a great mage without his permission. Nobody, except the king.
Sure.
Each of the island's great mages made a bracelet that was the key to the tower of that great mage. Many people thought that only a true king can use one of the bracelets, but actually anyone can use them.
But actually, it's just a key.
The bracelets belong to the kings and are hereditary. With the lapse of time, they became an attribute of kingship. Our emperor is of kin to the kings of Uimar. If he grasps hold of their bracelet, he'll be able to join Uimar to his lands.
So this is just our casus belli to take over the lands, I guess. If we have the magic bracelet, that proves that we should be the king of this land, therefore we can invade it.
Wow, this information is interesting and all, but we still don't know where the bracelet is.
You'll never find out if you keep interrupting me.
Yeah!
You must have noticed that
I like
the
this guy.
squad of monks was a small one. Chances are they haven't found the bracelet, and we're going back to the monastery to get reinforcements.
If you noticed, if you paid attention and didn't interrupt me, you would have known.
When Scrocken enchanted Uimar, the island was seized in a terrible panic. Riots began in Plagan, and the king eventually had to leave his palace and retreat into the forest with a small, loyal squad of soldiers. Later, in an encounter with a band of enemies, the king was killed. His soldiers buried him in a simple grave with all his armors and the bracelet.
And his ring fell into a
Nature
river.
perished, and the location of the king's grave was lost.
And the ring, traveled down the river for many years before a strange fishing creature, a strange short-statured person found it while jumping into the river looking for fish, and decided it was his precious.
The legend says that the spirits of the dead warriors and all the forces of nature guard the grave. We're going to embark on a very difficult journey.
Oh,
You'll accompany me.
That's a different quest. The spirits and dead warriors, that's from even further back. There was a pledge or something to the king that they owed him for a betrayal or something. All right, Brian, anything else?
Do you see this young warrior? It looks as if he barely escaped from a fiery death. He looks absolutely wretched. I wonder what happened to him.
Good thing I sold the ring of fire protection.
Tell me about your feats of valor, young warrior. Who did you save from a fire?
I saved no one. It was a miracle I escaped myself. Fire was everywhere. A lake of fire. I have never seen dragons in my life, but now I know that they are flying, fire-breathing fortresses.
We killed a dragon. No big deal.
My friends perished, and I lost my father's sword.
Oh no, you almost got expelled. I mean, you lost a sword.
Dragons. Your story is even more interesting than I thought. Please, tell me everything from the beginning.
My friends talked me into going after the treasure. In the beginning, everything went smoothly. We met the ogres, killed them all, and burned their village to a crisp.
See, I'm not the only one exterminating the ogres.
Inspired by the victory, we decided to level another ogre village to the ground, but it was easier said than done. Dragons were coming from 3 directions. We fled, but fire was everywhere. During my escape, I lost everything, even the sword. Good warriors, even the mighty dragon should not be a problem for you.
I mean, we're pretty awesome.
Get back the sword for me, and you can take the rest for yourselves. You'll find that there is plenty of treasure for the taking. Please, save me from disgrace.
Sure, but if your sword's really good, then we're keeping it. Because, I mean, we have 2 people that use swords, so, magical longsword of, Avengers longsword or whatever. We're just gonna have to keep it. Okay, I think that's all the dialogue. So we've got 3 quests. We'll probably do the orcs next. I might save the King's Tome for last. Well, maybe the sword. Dragons or all the spirits. I don't know what's harder, but we'll definitely do orcs next because we've had that quest the longest. And first off, between episodes, I'm going to try to figure out what I want to do with our money. It's tough. We're really, really short on gold, and there's a ton of stuff to buy that we can't afford. So selling this amulet is, well, that would give us 40 grand. We could buy Book of Stonewall or something. Anyway, I'll think about it, and I'll let you guys know in the future tubers next episode. But the live tubers get to see me, him, and haw. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and have a great day.